studying every listed company on the stock market so that you don't have to. Part 1.
But this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
This is ZSE Holdings that owns the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange, ZSE Direct, VFX Direct, and Data Direct. Did I leave something? No, anyway. For the sake of this series, I had to start with the owners of the market, which leads the way for the rest of the company. So let's get into it, shall we? ZSE Holdings is an interesting structure. Every new listing, trade, ETF, REIT, debt issuance, and corporate actions generates fees and income. There is no direct competition, which makes them a monopoly of some sort. The biggest shareholder in the company is the government of Zimbabwe, then companies like FBC and IH Securities, then individuals like John Richard Leggett and Mark Turner, summing up the top 5. With the government's large stake of 32%, this may mean that strategic decisions like pricing, rules, new products may not always be purely commercially driven. That is a good thing for the general public, but regulatory capture risk is real. Now, let's get into the numbers. They get their money from annual listing fees, which constitute 79% of their revenue. And of course, that's a risk because if a major issuer delists or a wave of delistings occur, it directly wounds the core revenue. So this is the single biggest earnings risk you should look out for. Their total revenue for the year was 6.16 million, of which 4.42 came from ZSE and 1.73 came from VFEX. And after the money comes in, they spend 5.74 million of that on things like staff, which is the majority, so it's a good thing. What's worth noting, however, is the board sitting fees are 476,000, which is 7.7% of the operating revenue. And for a 6 million revenue business, these are one of the things that you should look out for. Now, majority of their assets are tied up in land, buildings, and market surveillance tech. Also, they have no borrowings, giving them flexibility for future investments. So, as an investor, what does this all mean? Should you choose to invest, you are investing in a genuine infrastructure monopoly, the market itself. This means that as Zimbabwe's capital markets mature, deepen and digitize, ZSE Holdings earns more. And as we finish the year, we should all look out for the ZIX SME platform launch and more VFX primary listings. And also Data Direct subscriptions growth. As of the time of recording this video, the shares are trading at 1.36 ZIG with a year-to-date decline of 6.8%. And also last year, they didn't do well on the stock market, so that's another thing. So please, do your research too and let me know in the comments. Is this a buy, sell, or hold? That's it for today. You're welcome.